If you've ever wanted to add graffiti, decals, or any kind of overlays to the surfaces of your objects, then this is the best and easiest way to do it. Real quick, I just wanted to say that I have made a Patreon. I'm going to be putting assets and materials on there, just anything from tutorials. I would really love to have your support. The link will be in the description. So what you need to do is just select your object and then go to the texture paint tab. Over at the side, you want to click the plus button, click base color. Mess around with resolution. If you have a very large object, I would suggest doing a big resolution. If it's smaller, you can scale it down. In my case, I'm doing 5000 by 5000. You want to make sure your color is pitch black, and then you can just click OK. So now if we go to the shading tab, you'll see that we have a new image texture that we just created. We want to go ahead and combine this with our current material that we have. Best thing to do is mix it with the main kind of base texture. In my case, it would be this dark concrete that I have right here. So what you're going to do is add a mix RGB, put your overlay in color 2, and change it from mix to add. Now that's pretty much all you have to do in the shading tab. Now we're going to go back to texture paint. Go over here and scroll down until you find texture. Click the drop down arrow. You're just going to click new. We don't have anything there yet. We don't actually have a texture to paint with. So you need to go down to the texture properties tab, click open, and navigate to whatever you want to add. Open image. So we want to change the extension from repeat to clip. And if you have any stretching like I do, just mess with these values until you kind of get it looking more accurate. Now you're going to want to go back up to the texture paint tab. You want to change the mapping from tiled to stencil. This creates this overlay right here. You can right click and drag to move it around to your desired location. Before you paint anything, you want to make sure that your color is set to white, because anything darker would darken the decal. Position your graffiti wherever you want it, and then just click and drag and paint in the area that you want it to be. And now you see we have our smiley face directly on the concrete. It takes up the properties of the concrete, the roughness, the bump, and everything. And you can do multiple ones on the same texture mask just by going back down to texture, going to an empty slot, opening another material. I'm going to do the smudge, and then just do the same thing you did for the graffiti. I almost forgot to mention it, but make sure you always click Save All Images, or you could easily lose data.